Hello and welcome to another episode of the Newman Show. Happy Labor Day.
And happy birthday
And
to me.
I was going to say that in a little bit, but
Well, I'm
happy
going to wish
birthday to
myself a
Jen.
happy birthday.
Yeah.
It's frowned upon, but that's why I got to do it.
Why is it frowned upon?
Well, because it's ridiculous to wish yourself a happy birthday and to ask other people to wish you a happy birthday, which I was just discussing yesterday.
I don't know about that. With all the
I don't do
self-love and the selfies now, I think it's
Yeah.
okay to enjoy your birthday and wish yourself a happy birthday.
Nah, I'm not even celebrating. This is my celebration. Oh, this is good.
This is how we celebrate.
This is good.
We do.
Much better than dinner.
Yes.
Much better than hanging out.
Today's topic is going to be interesting. We're going to talk about the dark side of entertainment. We're going to cover at least comedy and Hollywood. We'll see how far we get into it.
And New York entertainment. I have some
just
interesting
entertainment in
texts
general.
from some of you guys.
Yeah,
I'm
we'll
not gonna
out that in a
anyone's
little
name,
bit.
but I have some funny ones. And I'm wearing my Harvey Weinstein jacket. My
We'll
Game Show
we'll
jacket.
start with the elephant in the room, with the
bagel in the room?
guy. Yeah, the bagel in the room, and put that to bed. I don't want to give him any
Your
more
bed,
time
not
than he's
my
gotten
bed.
anyway. Just put him in his bed and just end it.
Is the
Yeah.
bagel boss guy really going to go anywhere anytime soon, or is he sticking
Well,
around?
he is, and that's he won't last long, but he'll make
Yeah?
his money.
How long do you think he's going to be viral for? How long do you guys
I
think he's going to be viral
well,
for?
I
'Cause
think
really don't know.
he'll probably peak with the Dykstra fight,
Okay.
and then he'll be he'll float around. He'll be a name for a little bit because he's got enough of it. But the thing is, not that he's going to have a long career, but he's probably already made more in his career than some people doing this for 20, 30 years
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
And
It's like
that's
the
what I
Catch Me
find a little
Outside girl.
insulting. Yeah,
But with bagels.
but at least she raps. She was a rapper
True.
before she got famous for just being an idiot.
Does Bagel
So-
Boss guy have any skills? Genuine question. I'm not trying
No,
to be...
I mean,
ironic
outside
or
of
mean.
arguing, I don't
Yeah.
see any. I haven't seen any.
Well, I scoured the internet trying to look for positives, and I just found a lot of arguing.
Yeah.
And that seems to be a lot of our culture nowadays.
You know what? We'll start with that in a minute. Let's
Okay.
just get right into it. We'll go through the sponsors and then get this started so we don't
Yeah.
waste any more time. So let's pay some bills and we'll talk about Frank Zambuto and Kayla Logistics. Kayla Logistics, where your business is our priority. Our goal is to provide our customers with end-to-end logistics solutions worldwide. Contact Frank Zambuto regarding all of your international import and export needs. Frank also has domestic contracts with many of the largest coast-to-coast trucking companies in the USA for non-personal cargo. For the Newman Show listeners, just mention the Newman Show and Frank will take 10% off your first domestic trucking shipment in the USA. Frank Zambuto and Kayla Logistics, where your business is our priority. And you can reach Frank direct at 347-536-3933 or email at frank@kaylogistics.com. What's great about Frank, he's a very hard worker, and there's a lot of confusion right now with the tariffs and what's going on with China and everything. He's not confused at all by it because that's what he does for a living, and he's the best at it. So definitely check Frank out.
Hi, Frank.
Next, I want to talk about Felon for Life Motorcycle Repair and Jay Martin. You can reach him at 516-996-2780 or skullfan33@aol.com. Jay repairs bikes. He could do any mod you want on it. He specializes in Harleys, but will work on any bike you have. He also does some cool stuff, like if you want to learn how to fix your own motorcycle, he'll help you. You could bring your tools or use his tools. And he also wants to try to make it where vets pay little to no cost to get their bikes on the road again. So definitely check Jay out. We're going to be working on some fundraiser with him to help some of these vets out specifically and get them riding again, because it's called wind therapy for a reason. These guys, they're used to combat and a different lifestyle, and it's just a way to get them to, forget about things for a while and just clear their head. So we're definitely going to help Jay out with that. And I also want to talk about the Irish Pub. It's only the greatest day of the week, or the greatest week of all year. It's football season opening night on Thursday. And the Bears are playing the Packers, and it will be the beginning of the $2.50 Bud Light pints and 60-cent wings. They have the DirecTV pass and show all the games as always. Karaoke on Friday at 10. And Sean is a great guy. They do a lot of things at the bar. Dart League starting up soon. This Wednesday, again, tying everything in, Frank will be there guest bartending with Wonder Woman, also known as V. So that's going to be a cool time. I don't know exactly what the deal is going to be, but it's going to be Cosplay Wednesday. You go in cosplay, Halloween costume. It's going to be like Halloween in September. There's going to be a lot of fun things going on. Frank's going to put some things together and make it a fun night. So check out the Irish Pub in Baldwin. It's on Merrick Road. I forget the address offhand. There it is, 834 Merrick Road in Baldwin. It's right by Grand Avenue. So definitely go check that out and come down and have fun. I would definitely be there Wednesday. Yeah, Larry, come on down. So that's the sponsors. Yeah, Roger, I agree with going back to the bagel guy. He says managers are probably robbing him blind. But again, I mean, you're talking about someone who never would have made any money, making some money now. And I think that's part of the industry too, and maybe we can touch on that a little bit as far as the dark side. Managers and agents sometimes really do make 80% of the money.
Well, look at Mike Tyson.
Off the talent.
King.
Don King made
Don
all
King
the money.
Supposedly writing that off as towels. That was what it went into on the papers. That towels. So it was like thousands and thousands of dollars for towels that Mike Tyson never got. He mentioned this in his one-man show, which was amazing.
And I know I have a lot of people in the entertainment business, and I don't know if there's a standard. I've heard 10%, 15%, 20% that an agent or a manager could get. But now, let's just say it's 15. We'll cut the difference. It's 15%.
Right.
So 15% of your earnings go to your manager. Then another 15% goes to your agent. Then you still need people around, especially when you reach a certain level. Like my level, I don't need anybody. I don't even need me.
You don't need me.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, because you need security, you need press, you need this, that, and everything's coming out of your end, not their end. They're doing everything for you.
Right.
Then some people have a separate promoter, and they're getting another 10% or so. So when all's said and done, you're making a ton of money, but you're not really keeping any of it. You're giving it all out to these employees that you have that will stick with you up until you're not making money anymore, and then leave you a la Tyson. Although apparently he's doing pretty well now growing weed.
Yeah, Tyson.
They said he's had what, a $50,000 a year weed smoking habit.
$50,000 now?
That he smokes himself, so
yeah.
He must be growing some good stuff. Good for you, Mike.
That's interesting. He seems very chill and very zen now.
Yes.
I love Mike Tyson. I actually bumped into him at a rest stop on the way to his one-man show.
I would love to have seen that. See now.
And he was really nice. I was walking out, and I was driving to his one-man show, and he was probably driving to his own show.
Right.
And he was walking into the rest stop, and I'm walking out, and I'm like, oh my God, it's Mike Tyson, Mike Tyson. And I'm like, I'm going to your show later. And he goes, thank you, ma'am.
Now to just put this bagel guy thing to rest again, because there's been a lot of controversy here on Long Island. It split a lot of comedians. People refer to stuff like Tyson when he went out, but Tyson was an entertainer. He was a boxer. He did act, and he was going around telling his boxing stories, and people were interested in it. He had funny stories. He had a story to tell.
And he had skills.
Charlie Sheen did the Torpedo of Truth tour. Again, another actor, entertainer, comedic actor. His Torpedo of Truth tour bombed. Because it was a lot of like drunken ramblings and stuff from what I heard. I would have loved to have seen it, don't get me wrong. Yeah. But I heard it was just garbage.
Well, the Tyson one was not garbage.
The Tyson one, no, because I saw that. It was really good. And his stories with Mitch Green and stuff like that were hysterical. I mean, I would love watching that.
He's a natural performer. He's amazing.
But what bothered me about the bagel guy is that he got famous really for staging fights.
For arguing.
He would, not that the people around knew what was going on, but he knew what was going on. He would go in to a public place, whether it was a bar, parking lot, whatever, and start arguments with people. Right. Sometimes the people knew what was going on. Most of the time they didn't. And he would have someone record it, and he kept putting them on YouTube. And eventually one caught. The one at the Bagel Boss caught. And see, this is the problem now, and everyone wants to know, just to tie it into the topic that we talked about with mass shootings and everything, everyone wants to know what changed. What changed is that bad behavior now is rewarded.
It is.
If you do something really good, nobody cares, nobody's going to cover that story, whatever. But if you get in a fight, that's going to be all over the place. These are what the viral videos are on YouTube.
Yeah, I'd love to see that culture change.
And if I get the name wrong, I'm sorry, but who was the idiot that went over and started trouble in Japan? Was that Logan Paul?
In Japan? Yeah, I think so.
He is one of the most viral YouTube guys. He was making fun of the culture.
Suicide forest, and he takes a video of it.
And this is what's making it now. And again, if he had another talent or whatever, I wouldn't mind so much, but you have certain promoters out there and John, if you're listening, you can call in at any time you want. I sent you the number. You have certain promoters out there saying that if you want to make it, you got to work your ass off. You got to hit every open mic you can. You got to do all these shows. You're not going to get paid. You're lucky if you get any money or any notoriety within the first 10 years. Doesn't matter how many people you bring, how good you are. You got to earn your dues. And then this idiot gets headlining gigs. He's headlining the show in Florida. He's going to be at a show here on Long Island where I don't know if he's headlining or featuring. And what did he do?
Controversy breeds
All
cash.
he did was start an argument in public that went viral. And I know people are comparing it, well, Howard Stern was interested and Jim Norton was interested, News 12 was interested.
Right, yeah.
It's a little different in my opinion because they're interviewing him and they're making fun of him at his own expense.
They're
not putting it on stage.
The Sam Roberts and Jim Norton.
And will it generate? Yeah, it's going to sell out. It's going to get a lot of interest and everything. But to me, it's just a short flash in the pan.
I'm curious.
And to divide and attack
the show's
certain
on Saturday.
comedians, but to attack certain comedians and call them worthless, or say that the bagel guy is too smart to do an open mic, which is insulting every comic that you're trying to bring up.
Who said that the bagel boss guy is too smart to do an open mic?
I don't want to continue the fight, but I think, especially I see Roger Nelson on and
He's too smart to do an open mic? Who's too smart to do an open mic?
He said the bagel guy is too smart to do an open mic. He's just going right into the big time, which is completely contradictory to what you're saying.
Oh, I see.
And what you're promoting. Yes, the guy might have 250 million hits on his thing, but it doesn't make him an entertainer. There's videos of Rain that used to help you sleep that have millions.
I think that's
Rebecca
a good
Black
question.
had hundreds and hundreds of millions of views on her Friday song, which, all right, to be fair, got her on tour with Katy Perry. But, it's just...
I think this brings the
question... You can't talk out of both sides of your mouth.
What is an entertainer nowadays? I mean, you look at Tekashi 6ix9ine. He just basically broke the internet like Kim Kardashian, and controversy, the hair. Honestly, I have to say, I think he's a bit of a genius the way he's played the internet and Instagram and all of his marketing and
you know
people
what?
up to fame.
The bagel guy is too.
So I think a lot of people, these agents and managers should kind of take note. When I advise people as like a pseudo agent, be interesting.
Right.
Don't argue with people. That I think is absolutely ridiculous. We need to end that culture
again,
now.
it's a quick path to being viral because people love fights.
Fights and
now
sex
viral
tapes.
videos have made it. I mean, you take George Gallo's sore loser video went viral. It helped his career a lot. Probably the biggest thing on Long Island was Vic DiBattista with his bread and milk video.
Oh,
a lot of people had no idea who he was, and he hit nationally, probably internationally.
He was kind of catchy.
But it was funny.
I could see it.
There was something behind it.
There was nothing
funny.
negative.
And does Vic do TikTok Vic and do rants and stuff? Yes.
Yeah.
But he's also a very talented entertainer. He is a comedian. He is funny. And there's thought behind what he did. It's not let's just go out and start a fight or let's just go argue about something.
Right.
But Roger brought up a point. Roger has a podcast out of Florida.
Okay.
And when he heard about this guy, he felt bad that he was living in the van and was going to try to put something together. So he reached out to see what the guy's story was. And their response to him was, we do small podcasts and whatever, but only for $1,000 and stuff.
I heard that. He's charging $1,000.
So what's he getting to headline these comedy shows? I've heard rumors with the Dykster fight that he could be getting as much, like guaranteed 6 figures, possible 7.
Wow.
I know he was trying to fight Shuli on the Howard Stern show. They offered Shuli $5,000 and then $10,000. So I don't know what he was getting for that. And again, good for this bagel guy. He's milking it for all it's worth.
For that money.
Yes, he can. And he's smart. But to try to make him something like he's the next coming of George Carlin, he's not.
Nobody
he's just
thinks
not.
he's the next George Carlin.
But to sit there and say
that?
he's a viral sensation and he's made it and he don't need to do this and he could go right to the front of the pack, to me is insulting. And again, when you
it's like a circus show. It's
instead of just admitting what you're doing and saying, hey, this guy's viral, I'm going to use it to promote my business, which is nothing wrong with that. There really isn't. But to sit there and try to say that you're trying to help younger comedians out and this, that, and the other thing, and in the meantime, you're airing people's personal business, like their medical conditions or if they're out of a show or how much they make a month, just to me is low class, and I wouldn't work with somebody like that.
Dennis is deep into the stand-up world, so he's seeing it from this perspective.
Yeah.
I get the comedy perspective, too.
And
I don't think anyone thinks he's the next George Carlin. I mean, are
no,
people getting lobotomies?
I don't think anyone booking him
thinks
this? So either. I think it's just a marketing ploy to bring attention to their business, which is fine, but just admit what it is. But it got me thinking, and there is a dark side to entertainment that nobody really talks
100%.
about. And there's a lot of people that work their ass off that'll never make it. And then there's situations, now, I'm sure it happens in comedy too, because of the Louis C.K. thing.
Okay.
You know what happens, where people feel like they have to do something to break through to the next level. And I feel that way too. It's like, well, my comedy's not going to make it, so what do I got to do? I need a viral video.
Right.
I'm not good looking enough to sleep with anybody to get to the next level, and I don't think anybody out there wants to.
Yourself, Dennis.
I don't know, but
sex tapes, fights.
Oh, awesome! Roger might
viral
have
videos.
Might have nails on his next FUBAR show.
Nails? Okay.
That's Lenny Dykstra.
Oh,
by the way.
okay. Nails. I didn't know that. Right.
But I've heard stories from female comedians, and the whole Louis C.K. thing was, even though he invited the women back to the hotel room and they went, and they already knew Louis C.K.'s reputation. He asked if he could masturbate in front of them. They said yes, and he did.
Okay.
They said they felt they were pressured. Because
See, this is actually a question I've asked at like 2 or 3 in the morning. I'm in a group chat with like some comedy friends of mine, and I've asked this twice now. Is it that bad what he did? Like
I don't think so.
If you're going into someone's hotel room at 4 in the morning, you have to expect that something's going to happen. I'm sorry. I don't mean to derail the entire Me Too movement, but like if I go to someone's hotel room at 4 in the morning, I'm not going to be surprised if they do something. You're not going to have a business meeting.
And again, he's well known for being a pervert.
Right.
Sarah Silverman said that he used to ask her, and like sometimes she'd say no. What's wrong with you? And like, okay, I'm sorry, and walk away. Other times she would say yes, and they would do weird things. He was very respectful about being a pervert.
Okay.
It wasn't like he was forceful. He wasn't like a Harvey Weinstein or something like that.
If you're out about it,
he was a freak.
Yeah.
Now the issue was apparently these girls were aspiring comedians, and they felt if they said no, their career in comedy would be over.
Because Louis C.K. determines who wins nowadays?
Yeah, because apparently he's a Harvey Weinstein of
By the way, I'm
comedy.
wearing this jacket that I got for $7 because it's my Haley Weinstein upcoming skin jacket. It's my game show
Thank you,
jacket.
Roger. You said I'm a sexy bitch.
See? There you go. Don't discount yourself. But it's
Just so you know, Matt, you can see the thing too.
What's that?
But
I don't see anything wrong out there.
No.
Oh. Is she is she single? Single is such a lonely word. No, I guess I'm not. I'm not single. No.
She guesses not, so I would say
No, I'm not.
Probably
I'm not.
no.
I'm just used to being secretive about
Yes.
my love life, but I guess I shouldn't do that.
But it was back to the Louis C.K. thing. It was something that he asked and did. It wasn't like, hey, if you want to make it in this business, this is what you need to do. But I'm sure that does happen in comedy. And again, if any comic, even a male comic that might have been in a situation where they felt it was necessary to do something shady, illegal, whatever, in order to be part of the club. You know, a lot of promoters out there, and again, Butera, if you're listening, I sent you the number. Butera is straightforward. This show's a bringer. You need this much.
Right.
This one you're getting paid this. This one's free, but it's that. This one just show up. You know, he's straightforward with what he is. I haven't worked with Evan Weiss yet, but he's pretty open about what he does too.
There's
I know people attack him.
on that one.
But he says, you know, hey, you need to bring 6 to perform, 15 for a free video,
Right.
or you can pay $20 for it. But his thing is that he's promoting you. And I think that's what people don't realize either. That there's a difference between a booker and a promoter, and they're all kind of getting melded into one. A promoter is supposed to promote you.
Okay.
So you shouldn't work that hard yourself to do it. You're paying someone to promote you or providing a free service for them to promote you. A booker is saying, you're talented, I want you, I'm booking you on the show. You're doing your own promotion, you want to be on the show, you need this.
Right,
there was a time you just had to be funny, but it's, you know, let's be real, business is
Everything's
business.
changing in the last
If
few
you
years.
could be the funniest person in the world, if those seats are empty, that club's not making any money,
Yep.
you're not going to work there again.
Yeah.
It's sad, but it's true, that's the way it is.
Yeah, unfortunately, you have to be out there picking fights with people or doing sex tapes or networking like a maniac.
So if people think I'm a great comedian, but I do a show and nobody shows up,
Right.
the bagel guy shows up and fills the place and is not funny at all, guess who's getting booked there again? Him, not me.
Yeah.
And I understand that. That's the business, and that's cool.
Are you going to go
You know
on
that
Saturday?
going
Are you
in.
gonna
Oh
watch
no,
it?
I have
No?
real work to do.
You real work?
Yeah.
I have real work
And
too, but I kind of want to go.
even though, like I said, I find it insulting and stuff, it's more for friends that are really trying to make a lot of this. I can't put the effort in that a lot of people are putting in. And I do have other jobs that pay the bills. Would I like to do something with it? I would like to move to the next level, but it's not like I'm trying to be the next Sebastian Maniscalco.
Well, let's start a fight with me. There you go.
maybe,
Here we go.
I mean,
Start a
look,
fight
I'm
now.
pretty tall, so that's caused me problems too.
I was thinking of cursing out. I don't know if I can.
Oh wow, Larry actually muted Raw to listen to this because it's interesting, and
Thanks,
that's it. Larry's a
Larry.
huge wrestling fan, so that
Yeah,
means a
I
lot.
know. How many podcasts does he have?
Larry, I think, has 57 podcasts at this point.
Right? 17, 57?
Just trying to catch up. Doug, watching the Good Life show. Thank you, Doug. But
Oh, Doug.
now, the problem with comedy too, it's really not a good time to be a comic.
Well, the thing is, it's like everyone's a comic now. Like
Well,
everyone's
it's not
a
even
trainer
that.
now.
It's that you're not
Everyone's a
allowed to
photographer
say
now.
anything. Look at Sebastian Maniscalco.
Okay.
He hosts the VMAs, makes jokes, which is his job. He's a professional comedian there to make jokes. And he jokes about safe spaces and millennials and hey, just so you know, only one trophy is going to be given out to the winner. There's no participation trophies,
Right, yeah, I've
no
joked
ribbons.
about him, yeah.
It was funny. And he gets attacked
I didn't
afterwards
know
by,
this.
by the press saying, who's this guy?
Did
Who's
not
this
know.
guy? This is the guy that sold out Madison Square Garden 4 nights in a row. And I think the cheapest ticket was $200 in the nosebleeds. The cheapest ticket. I don't know what the lower tickets were. So, yeah, that guy is somebody. The idiot writing the article, who are you? You're nobody. You should have just wrote what
But
it
you know,
was. The guy's a
before,
comic. If it didn't hit with half the audience, it didn't hit with half the audience. You're never going to hit everybody. But
personally,
he got cheered a lot in that, too.
I feel like we're having a bit of a backlash. You know, before every backlash, there's a front lash. So right now we're having all these people
Yeah.
being picked on. Comedians can't say this and that. But a lot of people are also very sick of that.
Right.
So I think we're getting more and more irreverent people than usual. At least in my circle, I know more people than ever that just really don't give a shit, and we're more uncensored than ever because it's so disgusting.
Well,
this,
look at what
you know,
Chappelle
this
just went through.
excess.
Which
Right.
I
was just watching his show
Roger
earlier.
brought it up. I mean, what did he do? He went up. If you don't like it, don't
Nothing.
listen.
Don't
Stop trying to
listen.
end these
Yeah.
people's career. Just because you disagree with someone doesn't give you the right to try to end their life and their career.
Right.
You know what? You want to end it? Don't watch it. Because all the people that don't like it won't watch it. The people that like it will watch it.
I
If
just
it's a
think it's
success,
very
he'll
watered
continue
down.
on. If it's not,
Right.
he'll go away.
Yeah.
You know, Two Live Crew.
Okay.
They were very controversial when they came out.
Yeah,
Oh, this
I
is
remember.
obscene. They
I
shouldn't be
listened to
allowed.
that,
They
yeah.
were going to get arrested in certain places because their
Really?
music was so obscene. Yeah. And guess what? It went away.
Yeah.
It was fun. All right, Me So Horny was a huge hit.
Right.
Did they have another
remember
big
this.
hit? No, they really
They had,
didn't.
like,
They had
two.
Band in the USA that was kind of big, but on radio hits,
Yeah, they had like 2 or 3 ones. I remember
What
on
else
my
did
MP3
they have that was a hit?
player.
there was a lot of funny
and
songs. I
then-
liked a lot of them.
I forget. It was just
But
it was
most
the
of them
same one
weren't
repeated.
for the radio.
No.
So you had the radio edit of Me So Horny and Banned in the USA, which is when they were getting banned in a lot of places because they cursed and talked about sex. Who cares? I mean, just
Yeah,
don't go.
I don't know
Just
where
don't
I'm at.
go.
It's just it doesn't matter anymore. I think that look who our president is. You know, we have
But
Cardi
see, well,
B ruling
see,
the
that's
radio.
the, you know they talk
You know,
you
for
talk about
people
the
to be
president.
offended, that's your problem. You have issues. That's the way I see it. If you're offended, turn it off. I don't
We'll
care
talk about the
anymore.
hypocrisy in Hollywood and talk into the seedy side of that, and I know you got some stories.
Sure. Yeah.
But you have people attacking the president. Oh, he says you could grab people by the pussy, which is not really what he said. But the same people are living that lifestyle and okay with it. These are the same people that'll take scale to work with Woody Allen. These are the same people that think Roman Polanski should be sent back and cleared of all charges because he's still with the same girl. Who cares if she was 12 or 14 when he started having sex with her? She
Yeah.
was a willing participant.
Yeah, exactly.
No, she wasn't. She was a child.
Yeah,
And if somebody on the street did that, you'd want his head. But because the
People-
guy can make a movie, all of a sudden it's okay.
People are
Harvey
hypocritical.
Weinstein, there was no secret what he was doing. No, none at all.
a few, yeah.
Everybody knew what he was doing in Hollywood. Everybody in
Seemed like
Hollywood knew what he was doing. And nobody cared until he got caught. And he got caught because of a girl who was, I don't know what she was. She was a model or something.
Yeah, there was a model that tried to out him by
Well-
putting a wire on
Well,
herself.
she went
That
to his
didn't work.
apartment and he molested her or whatever. And she went to the cops and I was like, then there's nothing we could do.
Right, the tape didn't show
Can
enough.
you wear a wire or something?
Right.
And she went back and you heard him say, I'm sorry, I'm used to people letting me do
Yes.
this.
And she said, well, I'm not used to it.
Right.
I listened to his
And
documentary a few
if
times.
that didn't go public, he'd still be getting fed girls. There were, hey Robin, how you doing?
Literally
Thank you.
fed. He looks like he was eating girls.
Yeah, he
Have
was
you
literally
seen
getting
him?
fed, and
Have you seen
it's
his
been
face?
said,
He looks
and I
like
don't
he
know
eats
this is a
people.
fact, so this is not. I've heard people like Oprah was sending girls to him, going, "Hey, you want to make
Right,
it?
supposedly
Go
she
talk to
knew.
this guy. He'll help you out."
Oprah was sending girls to him? Okay.
That's what I've
interesting.
heard. I don't know if it's fact or not.
Supposedly she knew about.
Yeah, Larry. There's a difference in comedy with something that's racist, sexist, and something that's funny. Controversial topic can be funny. Comedy's anything on the table. Whether you find it funny is up to you, and if you don't think it's funny, don't listen to him.
Right.
But again, Chappelle's a success. This is what, his like 100th comedy special at this point.
Yeah.
He's had a lot. He just had like 5 on Netflix recently. You know, if you don't like the guy, don't watch him. Leave him alone. So before we get into the Coreys, I know women have it hard with almost anything they do, especially when it comes to the entertainment industry, because I think things are expected of them, especially when there's a male in charge, whether he's a casting agent, the director, the producer. So I'll let you share some of your stories and read some of the stuff. Because, by the way, Jen is an entertainer. You're an actress, model, fitness trainer. You're a lot of things, but we'll go with, I guess, the actress model type.
Yeah, we'll go into the acting
this
category
is what this
here.
topic is, so go ahead.
Well, I brought a very interesting set of Facebook messages from 5 years ago when, you know, I'm 35 today, so I kind of know the red flags, but I thought this was hilarious, so I printed this out. This is an actual message, and I was actually reading this out loud on Saturday night.
Yeah, just to give it, who was this from and what was the
we're
content?
not going to say who this is
No,
from.
I mean, like, what was the person's title?
This person was on a mainstream TV show on cable, and he was pitching me to be a lead role in a TV show that he was trying to make. So he was trying to get me to be on the TV show and also have overnight meetings with me. So this is just too good to be true. I don't have to write my own material because you guys just give it to me. Thank you. We're not going to say names, so here we go. Don't you think it's better for us to get together over the weekend? I'm thinking Saturday night into Sunday and really talk in much greater length to really make this one of the biggest hit shows ever. We got me, who's already one of the most favorite actor on a hit show with so many talents. He can play the biggest, and you can play the biggest slut on TV. Oh, yes, I can. Wonderful. And Blank, who is the son of the famous hockey player who won the cup for the pro hockey team, and insert famous director's name, who alongside me being named as one of the favorite actors on the show by the Hollywood Reporter, was named as being one of the best directors on insert hit show. So I always say the credentials. This is what's been going on. I've been watching this for 10 years. This is always a stream of events where they list all their credentials, try to impress you. I think we got something huge that we can make happen, and a weekend with me is not going to have a negative impact on you for sure. And you know that finding an actor to play the part is never a problem, but I just happen to really like you, and I think you'll do an awesome job. So don't be difficult. Very common.
I wanted to stop you right there because that line, don't be difficult.
Yep. We can get any other actors. I've gotten this from a few months ago on a directorial production assistant job. Oh, I can get other people, but I really like you, so don't be difficult. Same thing. It's very common. I'm talking about relaxing talk, while smoke maybe, without you having to rush back home and spend the night over even. Shooting a potentially the biggest hit comedy show takes some long talks, relaxation, getting to know each other a little. I don't know, but you always seem to be in a big rush. If you really want to do this, I think you should see me halfway. Your schedule might be too tight for this. Really, I'm serious. It takes a lot more than a few hours if you want to make this a hit show. So I'm much more creative overnight. I'd like to come up with, most likely, some really hilarious scenes for the trailer. Would an overnight weekend work for you between now and the middle of June that would not in any way interfere with your busy schedule, that would be totally inconsequential? So, and also there was more that I write better overnight. Can we please meet overnight? I can't.
And I know it's not just Harvey Weinstein. I know a lot of people, because they travel, they have their meetings in the hotel. And it may start innocently enough where a bunch of people are there, but then they all find a reason to leave, except the person that is making the decision. But again, you know, that line specifically, don't be difficult, is basically saying, you want in, this is how you got to do it. This is it.
Because I would respond with, okay, what's the date, time, and place? I would respond very factual, and I'd keep my text very short, and I wasn't playing into any of this because it's malarkey.
Yeah.
Even 5 years ago, I knew this. But it's always
it's a shame
that.
Because
we can put anyone in this part, but I really like you.
You take a really talented actress like Lena Headey, who a lot of people had no idea who she was until Game of Thrones. Okay. Then it turns out she was one of Harvey Weinstein's victims because she said no. And I think she was just in the Terminator series or something, and V or somebody could probably tell me. And she had potential, and Harvey Weinstein basically was like, hey, we need to have a meeting, don't be difficult type thing. She said no, and her career was over.
Really?
For a long, long time. And I don't know how she got on Game of Thrones, if it was like a back door, or if they didn't think it was going to be a big role, but then her presence was gigantic. I mean, I don't know if you were a fan of the show, if you watched it, but she killed it. She killed it, and I'm sure she's not going to have a problem finding roles now.
Oh, that's a good story.
But it's just...
There's a lot of people out there like this. This is like a dime a dozen.
You know, in comedy, you may not see it as much on a lower level, because what are you going to say? Hey, I'm running a comedy show, sleep with me, and I'll give you $20.
Yeah.
You know, for doing the show, as opposed to a Hollywood movie where you could be talking,
TV shows, movies.
even at a low level, you could be talking, you know, 60, 70 grand, 6 figures, maybe 7 depending on the movie. Mm-hmm. Even as an unknown, you could be making some decent money, which, if this is what you want to do for a living, and this is the way in,
right.
you know, even though that maybe this, you know, I'm not saying the specific project, but maybe it's 20 grand. And you're like, well, you know, I wouldn't sell up at 20 grand, but if I could just get there, if I could just show them how good I am, then maybe I could get other roles. The next thing you know, I'm in the $20 million club. And hey, if this is how it works on this level, if I wanted to get to Hollywood, if I want to be in the big blockbuster movies, if I want to be in the next Avengers, hey, this is just what it is. I have to do it. And I think a lot of people give into it because of that, especially when they start talking to other actresses that are like, yeah, so you casting couch, you've heard of it. It is what it is. You do it and it's over with. So they make it seem like it's no big deal. And then there's a lot of, you know, desperate people and people that need to pay the bills. And, you know, there's a hierarchy, just entertainment business. And there's a lot of people who it's normal to have, you know, going out to dinner and drinks. I was just talking about this. My boyfriend was telling me, you know, don't you think it's a good idea to like schmooze more with people or go to dinner and drinks? And I said, no. If I meet with someone for 1, 2, 3 hours, they can see what I do on camera. There's no reason to stick around and get dinner and drinks, because usually I've done this and it's a waste of time. And I'm not into small talk. I feel networking is good. I feel I don't do enough of it because I can't.
Yeah, you
because
can
again,
I
work at the jail. I work in real estate. I do comedy.
Yeah,
I have other stuff going on. I keep myself busy. But again, there are circles that, you know, when they're thinking of something, it's, you know, out of sight, out of mind. So you're there
at the comedy club. You know, that's why. So you can network while you're on
set. But these
set.
people are at parties, they're at a bar, they're at, you know, whatever it is, over a game. Oh yeah, I'm running a show. You want to do it? But if you're not there, they're not going to think of you. Of
course.
So is networking good? I think so. Roger said there are comedy bookers who did get away with that bullshit. And I believe it too, because especially in the city, I could see it more, because you get in some of these clubs, anybody could see you. Mm-hmm. You know, it's known to have a Chris Rock walk in or you know, Ray Romano walk in because they're working on a set. So, like, hey, I booked that club, so you want in, ladies, you know, let's have an overnight discussion. And then maybe you get noticed by somebody. And again, if that's what somebody really wants to do for a living, they gotta, you know, do they do it? And yeah, some people do, obviously, but.
Yeah, I don't know these girls that do. I guess I stay away from it. I just make people health plans and I tell jokes and I'll bring healthy chocolates.
If you talk to Hollywood, I bet you a lot of them did or at least saw it.
Yeah, the women.
I know there was a story about Gal Gadot that somebody that was coming up with her told stories about how she sat by and watched while things happened to her.
Wow.
They kind of, I think they kind of discounted her story or whatever, but you know, it could be true too. Who knows?
Yeah, there's stories about everybody.
And what they were saying with Harvey Weinstein, which I'm sure you know because you were doing the research for your show. He
jerked off in plants. Yeah. That just won't leave my memory. And my parody's going to have me spraying silly string on men and spilling silly string into plants.
Nice.
As Haley Weinstein.
But he had a lot of power. He might have been the most powerful man in Hollywood. And if you came in weak, he would take you.
Sounded like it.
He'd just suck you up like, you know, like a shark circling around waiting for you to make that move, and he would just attack you.
He was called
but if you came in strong,
predator.
if you had like a Hollywood super agent or something going, hey, this is this, and this ain't happening, you want to go, whatever, maybe it's okay. Like, I don't think, I don't know, who's the top Hollywood actress right now?
Right now? Ugh, I don't know. What did I just watch?
I mean, if she wants
I'm watching stand-up.
If she wants a movie, I'm sure she's getting it. Did she have to go that in the beginning? I don't know. But at this point, there are certain people that have star power that's going to get them the role. They don't have to do the casting couch. And then there are other people out there, like, again, this is not just women, and I guess V's not watching because she knows names a lot better than I do.
Come on, V, give us some names.
There was the guy in the Superman Returns, The Rock.
Larry says jerking off into plants, not the worst place. Not the worst
Oh,
place
no,
in
no,
Vegas.
no. I know what you're
Maybe
talking
there's
about.
a-
But I was talking about the guy that got Superman Returns, the movie they tried to, I think that's what it was called, the one they tried to forget about.
Okay.
But they said he slept his way into that role, Superman.
Actually, I had a friend I'm not going to mention on here, but I was going through
Terry Crews.
some interesting deep diving on the internet like 5 years ago, and I asked a friend through WhatsApp, oh, these sex acts, because he had messaged me on WhatsApp, how do you think I made my way all the way to the top, I'm not going to say the network, and selling scripts for supposedly 100,000, right? And he was telling me about very interesting sex acts he was doing with the top of companies. And then I was watching these documentaries that sounded very similar to my friend. So I messaged him on WhatsApp. We're not saying names, so it's okay. And I get a call from Europe the next day. And it's all these numbers come through my phone. I answer, I go, hello. And he goes, I'm blocking you WhatsApp. All that shit is true. I'll be in New York next week. I don't want you getting into that shit. And don't ever me message that again. I'm keeping you blocked because, you blew up my spot, basically. So I know because I've been friends with people that basically blocked me and got away from me.
Wow.
Yeah.
V and Larry are both right. Brandon Rouse.
There's men doing stuff.
Yeah. And Terry Crews had his issue, which he was very open about, where he said he kind of felt forced into it. And like, oh, come on, you're a big guy. You could have stopped it. He's like, but I didn't know there was an option.
Terry Crews got in? What,
Yeah.
He had to jerk off into plans?
Well, you know what it is? I think a lot of people in Hollywood, I think, are just very sexual people. They don't care, man, woman, child, which we're going to get into soon. They just, I think it's like a dog that humps your leg. I think it's just a power thing. And apparently when Terry Crews was trying to make it, I'll look for the story and I'll send it to you later.
I'm curious. I'm a Terry Crews fan.
And like, you're looking at this guy like, why don't you just squash him?
Right.
And he said that's what people feel, and that's why men, I don't think, get the same. I don't want to say respect, but the same sympathy when something happens to them because they think this is a woman thing. Because you're a guy, you could stop it.
Right.
Especially a large guy like Terry Crews.
But when your income is in someone else's hands, then
he said he was addicted to porn. It was something else though. When he was trying to make it as an actor, I think he had to go through the casting couch as well.
Interesting.
V said it. He was basically molested, and he was.
Wow.
Someone else that came out, I don't know if it was the 80s or the 90s when he actually said it, but Corey Feldman.
Yeah.
Was talking about how perverse Hollywood was. He said the biggest issue in Hollywood is pedophilia.
Right.
And they laughed at him. Like nobody wanted to take him seriously. And Corey Haim and Corey Feldman, he said, were passed around to different producers and everything else, and they had to do whatever. They were children. I think they were 14 or 15 at the time when he was telling the story. And again, he was basically laughed at. And then when it came out, like, he was telling the truth, but he's not allowed to name any names because I don't know if it was a payoff.
He was saying that someone tried to kill him. And interesting enough, I remember
you have a story.
He went on the Matt Lauer show. He went on with Matt Lauer. Matt Lauer got fired for supposedly being a sexual predator and doing something with 8 different people. So Corey Feldman went on to talk about sexual predators with Matt Lauer, who got fired for being like a sexual predator, basically, which is what the irony in that.
Yeah.
But he was saying that I think someone tried to drive him off the road. And there's other stories like that.
I think it's a lot more common than people
Tequila.
think.
Remember Tila Tequila from MySpace?
Yeah.
She was like the queen of MySpace. She came out with about a bunch of different things, and she was saying people were trying to kill her and drive her off the road. So if you do try to do something, and this is true also in the health community, if you try to talk about vaccines or anti-chemo or things that are just off limits and promote them, you're going to be in trouble. So the smartest thing you can do is play stupid.
Yeah, keep your mouth shut and go on.
That's where I'm at.
Which is what they're doing. And with Corey, like initially, like I don't know if he signed something, whatever, but he said he couldn't name names, but now he's allowed to. So he's trying to raise $10 million to make a documentary where he's going to out everybody that he was personally involved with, which I find odd
Unless
because
he ends up in jail
$10 million is not a lot.
No, but
when you're talking about making a movie, $10 million is nothing.
You can make a documentary for nothing nowadays.
I don't know why that number's out there or what he needs.
Yeah, I don't get
but
that.
even still, if you look at like an Avengers movie and the hundreds of millions that cost to make, some studio somewhere, some actor somewhere that wants to tell their story has got $10 million laying around easily to do this.
Yeah.
But I think it's like what you're saying. I don't think anybody wants to touch it. They don't want to touch the topic because it's very sensitive.
I'd be afraid
the guy from
Live
Nickelodeon.
alone? Do you want to, sleep at night and feel comfortable? Or
Yeah.
maybe you shouldn't do that documentary. Seriously.
And I don't like giving names
You're
out to
putting
people and
yourself out as
promoting them
tribute.
because, again, he wasn't convicted of anything either. But the guy from Nickelodeon was supposed to be given $7 million to walk away.
Right.
Because he was known to be a pedophile. And it was easier just to
he
buy him
was-
off.
he
I guess
paid
Viacom was
hundreds of
paying
dollars to tickle
millions.
someone's feet, to tickle actresses' feet under the table.
And
supposedly.
if you watch, because somebody, Ray Goots actually was big on this too. I don't know if he's watching this, but he was saying that there was something going on with it. And people posted clips, and if you watch a lot of the Nickelodeon shows, it
Right.
was showing all these teen girls' feet constantly.
Really?
Like it wasn't even like in reference to what was going on. They were always pulling their shoes off. It was in the camera, so the guy definitely had a foot fetish
That's
or whatever.
hilarious. I'm sorry, that's really
But
funny.
even in movies, like they'll take a 21, 22-year-old actress and make her a high school girl and get topless and sex and whatever, the teen movies. Why can't they be in college?
Someone wanted me
Why
to play
can't they be
a
19 to
19-year-old
20?
4 years ago.
But why? It's legal at least.
Yeah,
Why do you got to
yeah.
make them 16 and 17 and doing it? Because you're just
True.
promoting the.
True.
You
That's a
know.
good point. Yeah.
And this is the
underage.
problem. I think it's just so accepted in Hollywood, and it's their greatest exposed secret, and they really not do anything about it. And something that did almost happen with Jeffrey Epstein.
Right.
I think he had probably 90% of Washington and Hollywood in that book.
Will we ever
That's
know?
my guess, that it's 90%. And no, we won't know. Animal House had a new 13-year-old. Yeah,
Really?
and I'm sure she was probably 20-something.
Didn't know that, Larry.
Yeah, because one of the students was sleeping with the teachers.
Yeah, so
Who would that was?
Food Town.
That was Marion Ravenwood, right?
Animal
Karen,
House.
whatever. Larry will come up with a name.
Animal House and Caddy.
But it's funny how he commits suicide, and now they drop the case against him.
Oh, yeah. Are you gonna have a case with a ghost?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they still could go after him and dig deep.
Could they?
And yeah, absolutely. Because whether he's convicted of it or not, if they continue the investigation, they can find enough facts, whatever. Yeah, she was over 18 at the time, but she played a 13-year-old. I know. If they look into it, they will start uncovering who was going to Lolita Island,
Right.
who was doing it.
Show me the way to the next Epstein bar. Oh, don't ask why.
It's one thing that he
don't
was
ask
doing it
why.
and providing it, but who was he providing it for? That's the question. Because he might be dead, but all the people that were going there are still around and not
Right.
convicted of anything.
Right.
It was known that Bill Clinton was on the plane
there was like a
27
painting
times or whatever,
found,
and he had
that
a
weird
painting in the blue
painting.
dress, which is kind of awkward.
And there was a painting like that in someone
He had
else's
royalty
house.
from other countries going over there. They said Hollywood was, frequent Hollywood guest.
Right. He
So
made some
again,
great green juices for people. He was a great cook.
I think that they should continue, and I know they said
Yeah,
they
of
were going to allow some of the girls that came forward to
Right.
continue with the civil suits,
Okay.
which means they could sue his estate.
Right.
But nothing's really going to go further. They'll get paid off. They'll walk away, because either that or they'll disappear too,
That I wonder.
or something will happen.
Well, you said his modeling agent
Yeah,
disappeared.
his
He had
scout,
a
the
model
guy that was a
fed
scout,
him models?
disappeared. This
Just
came out in the paper
disappeared.
today. Disappeared. And when I say disappeared, it's not like he
No
just
trace.
hid away. Like his social media accounts are gone. Like all traces of this guy are gone.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
So I mean, Epstein was a billionaire. I'm sure this guy, at least a multimillionaire, that was doing it for him. So maybe he had enough to just pay to squash everything and disappear because he's scared. I don't know.
I would want to disappear.
But from what I understand, and Epstein was going to talk. He was working out a deal,
Right.
and he was going to talk, and he was going to name names to get a plea deal that he wasn't going to spend much time in jail, which he did already.
Yeah.
So I don't think he had that much to worry about.
No,
Great.
I didn't say a great cock. That's really funny.
What did you say?
I
That was
think
even
I said
closer.
Animal House and Caddyshack. I think I mumbled Caddyshack because I just love Caddyshack.
Okay.
But that's the normal chain of events. Someone's going to talk, then you either let them talk or you jail them, and then oopsie, they die in jail. I mean, this is just it's becoming very cookie cutter.
And
nothing's surprising to me, so I'm sorry if nothing's that surprising.
What's surprising to me is that pedophilia is not a bigger deal. Like, people aren't as upset about it as they should be when
They're
it
not
comes to
upset?
Hollywood. No. I think if they read a story about a guy having sex with a 12-year-old or a teacher sleeping with a student, they're
Right.
upset. But when it's someone in Hollywood, it's like, wow. Like, I think they're indifferent with it. Like, take Miley Cyrus.
Okay.
they were taking the topless photos of her, but it was like her back or whatever when she was 16. If I were to take pictures, let's just say I'm a photographer and I just get a regular 16-year-old girl and I'm taking pictures of her while she's naked, I go to jail for that.
True. Yeah. Yeah.
Why is it okay because she's famous?
That's a good point. Yeah. There's a lot of hypocrisy. There's a lot of hypocrisy, and there's a lot of things where it's very interesting to see what things people are okay with, what people have a problem with. I guess that's why I've checked out so long ago, because I think humans just draw the line at such bizarre places. They have their own set of rules, and humans are very paradoxical beings. This is okay. That's not okay.
Yeah.
What?
And again, back to the Nickelodeon thing. A lot of these girls were sexualized while they were actual teens, not playing teens, but were teens, 14, 15. Why is that okay? Nobody cared. Nobody cared.
Yeah.
And again, if there was a video out there, if I was filming a video of 14 and 15-year-old girls frolicking around like that, I'd be in jail. I'd be going for child porn. So why is it okay in Hollywood?
Why is it okay?
They're okay with it.
Money.
Maybe Sun-Yi was 18 when Woody Allen married her, but how old was she when they started hooking up?
Right.
Did they just hook up? Oh, you're legal now. Let's hook up and get married. No, this is probably going on for years. And again, Woody Allen was known to be a creep, but nobody had a problem working for him. Nobody. I mean, I never heard anyone turn down a Woody Allen movie because it was great exposure. Woody Allen was known to make the best movies. People would take a lot less money to work with Woody Allen because he was one of the greats. So, he's a pedophile. Who cares?
Talk.
It's all right. But it wasn't even about money if they're taking scale.
Money and power,
Yeah,
Wherever people think you have a little bit of power, they're going to try to jump on your back and leech off to you.
Yeah, that's true, too. It's been happening for a while. Drew Barrymore was drunk on the set of E.T. And you wonder, like, these kids, when they break free from the Disney or the Nickelodeon thing, the first thing they do is go, like,
going crazy.
The slut way, or look at Miley Cyrus, she's such a slut. But isn't this, like, basically what they were bred to be?
Right.
Isn't this what they made them? They sexualized everything she did. When she was singing on the thing, and she just grabbed the pole and twisted her hips a little bit. Oh, she's dancing like a stripper. No, she wasn't. She wasn't. They overdid it. And then they make her a victim on whatever it was, the VMAs, when she was dancing with...
Twerking. Twerking in the bodysuit. Bodysuit.
Oh, yeah, no. I think they were saying she ruined his marriage. That's right. Why can't I think of his name? Blurred Lines.
Ruined.
Singer.
Yeah. Okay. I know
Oh my God! This is what happens when you don't get enough sleep.
Yeah, this is what happens when I don't follow pop culture, because I don't care about pop culture.
Who sang Blurred Lines? Somebody knows.
Robin Thicke.
Oh yeah, Robin Thicke.
Right. Okay.
So she's saying that they were saying that because she twerked and did this to him, embarrassed him and ruined his marriage.
A girl with no ass twerking is not going to ruin anyone's
Did they see the video Blurred Lines? Did they listen to the words of it? Did they watch all the topless women running around that Robin Thicke's got a big D?
A girl with no ass twerking is not going to break up any marriage. End of story. There you go.
A little behind here. Larry's saying that if you watch some Shirley Temple movies, when she's singing Good Ship Lollipop, all the businessmen were drooling over her. Hollywood is fucked up. Yeah, it's true. I hate when I see my friends post pictures of their daughters during dance recitals. They see more clothes than the Maxim spread sometimes. It's nuts. And you're right. And the new thing now, like, you got these young boys doing drag shows.
Yeah.
Or
yeah, the drag
I don't know if it's
trending.
burlesque, like what you call it, because some of them are like almost stripping too. And doing these things, that's too young.
Is it? When is it? When are you old
18?
enough to strip? Yeah,
18, yeah. I mean, you want to do it at 18, and the one principal did a drag show at a school. Mm-hmm. Come on. If he brought strippers in, he would have been an animal. But because it's drag, it's different somehow. No, it's not.
Yeah.
Stop sexualizing kids. Is it really that hard to do?
Well, everything's
Stop
sexualizing
here. Kids. Let them be adults and then sexualize them. Sexualize them all they want from 18 on.
So
I don't care.
18 on sexualization.
And I don't see why this is such a hard concept. And then you wonder, like, these laws seem to be getting softer almost on the pedophiles.
And now there's a movement to isn't there like some type of sympathy movement that pedophilia is like a mental illness, so they're trying to give them like a safe space
and some of the I don't know the Muslim rule, but I know some will marry a 12-year-old and it's accepted in their religion, and since they're moving here, they want to give special exception to some. So then all of a sudden, any pedophile is going to turn into that type of Muslim to get in.
My pedophile, my boyfriend's 6 years younger.
Maybe.
I may be a pedophile. Yeah. Maybe that's the perfect show for me, right? I just don't want wrinkles.
And with the bail reform that's going through, possession and promotion of child pornography is now a ticketable offense. This is an appearance ticket.
Right.
It's just an appearance ticket.
What was it before? You was to jail.
You went to jail.
Yeah.
And pedophiles aren't too popular in jail.
Well, that's an interesting topic you covered before, that the bail reform, that things are just being ticketed now instead of people being jailed.
Stalking.
So stalking is you just get a ticket.
Arson.
Right.
So you get an obsessed
like,
guy and he's stalking you and burns down your house. The cops can't give him a ticket. Like,
right.
yeah, sorry, have a good day.
So there's no point in even reporting it because now you're the bad guy. Now you make them more angry.
Yeah, I mean,
inflame them.
It's an appearance ticket, so they do have to show up and so that they're in court. They still might go to prison, but they're not going to jail, like that in between thing. But if they know they're guilty and they know something's going on, you think they're going to show up?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Ticketable offense.
It's ridiculous. And again, yeah, the teen kids need to stop telling our teachers who bang them. Please don't forget the tippy waiters. Thank you. I will not be doing stand-up.
Don't tell them teachers.
You know, it's funny too though, because there is a double-sided thing with that too. If a male teacher sleeps with a female student, it's reprehensible. It's, oh my God, that guy should be dead.
Right.
How do you allow that? A female teacher sleeps with a male student. It's like, well,
what is he complaining about?
good for him. He should have kept his mouth shut. He could have kept it going. Like kind of what Larry's saying there.
That's the premise of my upcoming sketch, where I become the producer from hell, and I have all these men complaining about my abysmal, disgusting behavior. Hence my Weinstein jacket. And I have the Me Three movement. You know, guys are three-legged creatures, so me three, and if they're inadequately endowed, then it's me too.
And you know what's funny though, because you mentioned that when the Me Too movement came forward, which was kind of in the wake of Cosby and Weinstein and stuff like that, I think because it was exposing certain things, I think they just watered it down so much that
overdone,
people didn't care anymore.
I think it was
it's
overdone.
Like, oh, I was at an office party in 1983, and this guy patted my butt and walked away, and you know the guy worked in the mail room, and everyone's like, all right, you know, enough.
Well, it got overdone.
But if they would have kept it to what it was meant for, like the serious crimes, I think more would have been exposed.
Yeah.
And I think it was purposely watered down. Because again, I think if the truth ever really did come forward, a lot of Hollywood would go. A lot of Hollywood would go away. A lot.
Yeah.
Like probably 80, 90%.
Well, we're seeing a lot of things being exposed now, so I think that's going to keep continuing.
80, 90% of the upper echelon of Hollywood. I don't want to say like even the lower level, because the lower level are usually the victims. But you're hearing stories from Rose McGowan, Alina Headley.
Well, yeah, and this happens on all levels. Because I'm in some, bad movies. I'm in like 7 movies now, and they're not, top tier blockbuster sellouts. But this happens on every level of the entertainment business. You get people, but I think people are a little bit more wary to act out of turn and send me disgusting messages or do things, and because they know guys, social media, you can just post that.
Guys, I think, like to do that in general. Like, I don't know, like a way of picking a girl up is like, hey, let me send you a dick pic and let's get this thing going.
I haven't gotten it, yeah.
I don't know.
I'll repost them. So
it's got to work. It's got to work for them to keep doing it. So it's working somewhere with somebody. I don't know who.
I don't know.
But I think but at least that you can just like brush it away. But when you're really trying to make it in the entertainment industry, and this is what you're hitting every spot you go to, it's like, well, do I just give in or do I give up?
Right.
And I think that's the issue people are facing.
Don't give in. Ladies and gentlemen, don't give in.
Yeah, it's got to be exposed.
No, I'm just kidding.
But thanks for tuning in. Thanks for co-hosting tonight. Next week I should have Bobby on. Again, Wednesday night, come to the Irish Pub. The following Wednesday, come to the Irish Pub as well. I'll be doing comedy there. One of Butera's shows. And
Saturday, see Bagel Boss guy?
Yeah.
He is performing.
I think I'd rather watch paint dry.
All right.
But tune in again next week. Take care.